Today is Tuesday, August 22nd, and I'm looking at a sample of pond water I got from Morningside Park just this evening. And there are some Nauplius in here. Nauplia? Something like that. They're larvae of a crustacean. I think these are copepod larvae. But if we zoom in, hopefully there's one right there. And I've been zoomed out all the way. This is now 100 times magnification, but I'm probably going to go back to 40 times magnification because these guys, when they swim, they go super fast. And I'm a little surprised that it hasn't moved since I've started recording. But here's a thing. There's like 3 of them on this slide. So if this one's not going to move around and show you what it can do, let's see if we can go find another one. The trouble is that they're decently camouflaged, and there's something else over here. I think it's a rotifer. We'll come back to that later. There's like a second one that was about the same size as that one, and then there's a larger one. Ooh, here we go. Bloop. Zoom in. Is it like trapped under the sand? I'd kind of expected that this motion would cause it to swim away. Maybe not. Interesting. What happens if we go from dark field microscopy to bright field microscopy? Not quite that bright. There we go. Is this any better? We can zoom in on the phone and then center it a bit more. Again, when I first looked at this slide before I got my phone, before I was recording, these were swimming all over the place, and so I'm surprised that they're not swimming very much right now. I'm pretty sure they're copepod larvae that are called, and their larvae are called Nauplius. What is this? Whatever it is, it's out of focus. Definitely out of focus. I don't know. So that is a second Nauplius, and then I suspect that there ought to be a third somewhere. Ooh, what is that thing? Let's go back to dark field microscopy. Maybe we can see it better. Ooh, it's green. I feel like I ought to know the names of the common green ciliates that are not algae, but I don't. This is not a euglenoid. Is it a euglenoid? It's twisting a bit, but it's awfully fast for something in euglena. What if we zoom in again from 40x to 100x? Maybe we can adjust the filter in the filter tray to be a little clearer, but maybe not. I'm not sure if I'm having so much trouble focusing because there is sand on this slide, and so the cover slip is not laying flat, so everything is deeper than you'd expect, or if I've smudged one of my objectives and I need to clean it, or what's going on. So, I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't recognize what it is. Then over here, we've got these sort of curly-Q type green things, and I feel like I ought to know the names of these algae, but I don't. Let's go back from 100 times magnification back to 40, and maybe we can find the large Nauplius. Ooh, there's a neat spiral algae type thing. What is this? Ooh, and there's this thing over here that kind of looks like a snowflake, and I ought to remember the names of those, but I don't. It will come to me later. So this looks like some sort of a spirally algae thing, and then these look like probably a different spirally algae thing. And then in between them, hold Hold on, I want to leaf through one quick thing to see if I can remember its name. Is that in this very rudimentary field guide I've got? No. No. Not a fungal spore. Not a vegetoa. Yeah, okay. I don't know the name of that thing. It'll come to me later. Where was I going? Oh, right. Quest for the big Nauplius. There's that green, or I don't know if it's the same green thing, but a green thing from before. And the trouble with the Nauplius is that they are clear enough and large enough that they kind of blend into the background with, ooh, here it is. Or is that the same one from before? This might be the same one as before. Yeah, I think it is. The red thing at the front, I think, is an eye spot, which in the adult form, these are sometimes called cyclops because they've got sort of one eye spot in the middle. And then you can see the orangish, yellowish digestive tract as though it's been eating something that is partially digested. And I don't know if the something was originally yellow or if it was originally like green and it's been digested. But that is a Nauplius. I had thought there was a larger one, but maybe I'm mistaken that is the large one. Let's see what else we can find. I think there was a rotifer before that I said I was going to get back to. Let's see if we can find that again. I think I had left it just this side of that air bubble. But things shift around as the water evaporates. What is that? It is bright orange. I don't know. Let's try 200 times magnification. And the colors are all weird because this high of a magnification doesn't work great with the filter tray. So I'm going to switch from dark field microscopy back to bright field. Bright field does not provide the detail I was hoping for on this thing. Okay, and if we go back to dark field, everything is fuzzy and not great for looking at. I have no idea what this is. It's awfully round, which makes me wonder if it's some sort of a cyst, some sort of a thing that is balled up in hibernation, hoping for better living conditions. But it might be a piece of plastic or a polished stone, or I have no idea. Oh, and it looks like here is another of those things whose name I don't remember that look kind of like, well, this one doesn't really look like a snowflake. This one looks very spiky. I don't know what that is. And then it looks like there's some clearish stuff swimming around. I'm trying to keep it sort of centered. Hard to tell. I'm having a lot of trouble seeing that one. Oh, there it is. It's just very small and out of focus. Not sure what that is. Let's see if we can find the rotifer again, if it was a rotifer. So now we're back at 40 times magnification, which is the least magnified the microscope goes. Perhaps the lesson to learn here is that when I saw it the first time, even though I was looking for something else, I should have stopped and looked at whatever it was. Speaking of which, let's go see if the very first Nauplius we were looking at, ooh, There it is. It's been swimming around. Let's zoom in on that. So you can see that they go very fast when they want to. Whoop, there it is. And because of all the sand on this slide, the cover slip is not sitting flat, and so the water column is much deeper than I'm used to, and I'm having trouble getting anything in focus here. Well, I have trouble getting things in focus at other times for unrelated reasons, but here is yet another excuse for why it's not in focus. You can see that there's much less yellow in this one, as though it has eaten fewer things recently, or it's been longer since it had a meal, or something. I'm pretty sure that they're... No, I don't want to say that. I don't know if they're herbivores or carnivores or what. I was going to say I suspect they're herbivores. Ooh, and what is this? Well, there had been a thing over here before the Nauplius disturbed it. It was long and skinny and wiggling around, almost like a flagellum, except that it was in crisp, clear focus, that it was very easy to see. And whatever it was has been... Oh, is it over here? Hard to tell. Not obviously. I wish I knew the name of the type of algae that's in the center of the screen right now, that it's got sort of these 4 cells and then spikes coming out from its corners. I don't know what those are, but I see them in Morningside Park, and I think they look pretty neat. Similarly, right next to the Nauplius, right now, is some volvocine algae, which form these colonies of lots of little green circles in this sort of gelatinous blob. And I think there's some more over here. And again, those show up in Morningside Park all the time. So here's the Nauplius. I don't know where that long, skinny, wiggly line was. It was here-ish before the Nauplius came through. And perhaps... Oh, there it is. It's awfully small. That's not a nematode. I believe nematodes are much larger. Let's try zooming in from 100 to 200 times magnification. Can I find the thing again? Well, there's something swimming around, but it was not the one I was hoping for. Let's try finding it here and being very confident of where it is. And then, as we zoom in, the center of the phone is not the center of the eyepiece. And as a result, I need to be careful about where I'm zooming in, or else I lose things. Also, there's all these water currents coming over this way. What's going on here? And it might just be that things are evaporating out the edge of the slide. You can see the edge of the slide. Well, here's the corner of the slide. Lots of volvocine algae over here, and we can zoom in a bit more to get a sort of better look at it. I'm used to it having more clear space in between the cells. And I don't know if that's just, I'm used to looking at it, this zoomed in at 200 times magnification on bright field microscopy, or no, they're denser than usual. I wonder if they're still growing or something. I don't know. But back to dark field microscopy and back to zooming out to 100 times magnification. Let's go, ooh, what is that? Let's see if we can zoom in on that. Maybe get it in focus. It's weird that part of it is green and part of it is clear. I am used to things being either all green or all whitish clearish. So, not sure what this is. It's some kind of a ciliate, a single-celled creature, whereas the Nauplius was definitely a multicellular creature. And if we find a rotifer, it will be multicellular also. These swimmy guys down here are single-celled, but they're so small I don't know what they are. It's neat the way this one kind of twists as it swims. I am reluctant to zoom into 600 times magnification with this much sand on the slide because I worry that it will be too tall and crack the cover slip as I try sliding the objective into place. Suppose I go to bright field microscopy. Does that give any more detail on this thing? Not really. It's weird the way when we started watching it, it was long and skinny with a pointed tail, and now it's sort of blobbed up wider and fatter, and now it's stretching out skinnier again. Oh, there's another one. I wish I could center that other one, but this is the edge of the slide. This is as far as the microscope will let me pan. So, two of these guys. If we try going back to dark field, yeah, it's still not great. There's one, and there's the other. And this one has its green kind of in the center rather than at one end, but it's still partly green but partly white/clear, which I think is unusual for microbe, but I don't actually know. Or unusual for a ciliate, at least. For multicellular creatures like the Nauplia, it's more common because they've got stuff in their digestive tracts and other stuff in their eye spots and etc. So that was neat. Let's go to 100 times magnification, back to 40 times, and see what else we can find. Here is Nauplius doing its usual stuff. I am surprised at how bright green some of the algae is. I'm used to it being sort of a dull green, and I don't know if that's like this is the time of year when photosynthesis is great or something, or maybe these are different species than I'm used to, or maybe it's always like this and I just don't remember. Let's go from 100 times magnification up to 200, but try to center that before I zoom in, and then hopefully it's right there. Yeah, I ought to remember what these things are called, but I don't. If I remember and I post this video to YouTube, I'll try to put it in the description. But you can see that I can get like one side in focus or the other side in focus because this is not flat on the slide, it's diagonal on the slide because there's so much depth to it because we've got all this sand and stuff letting the cover slip be up too high. So 100 times magnification, 40 times magnification. I don't know, there's stuff in here. I don't even remember looking at this part of the slide. Oh, is this because we've had a bunch of water evaporating? Yeah, we have. I should get some water. Hold on. Get water. Put on. Oh, yeah, the cover slip is definitely not laying flat. I can probably stick my fingernail in between one end of it and the slide itself. To rehydrate the slide, I use filtered water from the store. If you use tap water, it contains, well, at least in New York City and most places that do proper sanitation and hygiene in their water, it's all fluoridated, which is great for killing microbes and like keeping your teeth from getting cavities and stuff. But if you want to keep your microbes alive, it's not so good. I don't have a lab. I don't really want to buy deionized water for my microbes. So I use just filtered water from the store rather than tap water. And while I was putting the water on the slide, I didn't look at all at what's going where. Ooh, what is this? Hey buddy, you're spinning weirdly out of control. Let's see if we can zoom in on you. From 40 to 100. Let's see if we can keep you in focus. It would be nice if you swam away from the sand into part of the slide that was more pinned down. It's weird that part of it is full of organelles and stuff, and part of it just looks clear. It's also weird how asymmetric it is. I have no idea what that is. It's probably some type of ciliate, but even that broad a category, I have my doubts. Now I think it's a ciliate, but I don't know what sort. Although this slide is mostly just water, you can see that at such small scales like this, the water acts more thick. It's like swimming through molasses isn't quite right, but you can see that it's very thick, and the creature is sort of almost crawling its way through, and you can see it moving stuff around. There's sciencey sounding terms to describe this sort of thing, but the short version is that when you get very small, fluids become more thick and syrupy. Which is why insects have a much easier time flying than birds do. That when you're very small, when you're like the size of a gnat, it's more like swimming than flying. And microbes are a great example of just how thick the water can get. So that's a neat thing. I didn't notice that at all before I started recording. I sort of glanced through the slide and thought I saw most of the interesting things. I'd found some greenish ciliates. I found the Nauplia. I found what I thought might be a worm, but I wasn't sure, and I was going to get back to it if we could, but maybe not. There we go. Here is a rotifer. And this rotifer is being pushed around because the water's evaporating. This is, I think, some sort of monongonont rotifer rather than a bdelloid one. But I am only saying that in large part because it doesn't look the way the most popular rotifers online look. And they're all bdelloid. And I found one that I'm pretty sure was, not one, 3 or 4, that I'm pretty sure were monongonont rotifers in the pond from Morningside Park, I don't know, about a year ago. So this guy is a multicellular creature. You can see it's got like a tail. It's got a digestive tract. It's got all the good multicellular features. If I can keep it in focus, which maybe I can't. I think it's got like an exoskeleton that it's, and one end of it, which I think of as the back end, or like the dorsal side of it, has a much thicker shell than the other side. Man, this slide is so deep I can't get anything in focus. There we go. I had a sort of traumatic experience with one of my first monongonont rotifers that I was watching it for quite a while, and over time it swam around less and less, and then it sort of exploded. That like all of its guts just suddenly burst out, and I have no idea what happened or why or whether it was my fault, but I've been a little skittish about watching these guys ever since. But this one seems healthy so far. It seems to be finding stuff. I don't know if it's trying to eat the algae or what, but it keeps sort of swimming around the algae, but maybe that's just because there's lots of algae here. Ooh, and there's it's just a little ciliate that's too small to identify. I'm going to risk going from 100 times magnification up to 200, and we might be able to see it, and we might not. I think it's right here somewhere. No, I've lost it. It's swimming around too fast. If we go back to 40, I've lost it entirely. I hope I didn't just accidentally crush it. Oh no, what is this? I can't tell if that's something or not. It looks sort of like a crushed rotifer and sort of like just a weird shaped piece of dirt. I'm going to hope that's not the rotifer and keep looking for it elsewhere. Oh, I hope I didn't crush this one. I don't think that the cover slip pressed against the objective, but it might have, because the cover slip is up awfully high, and are the Nauplia okay? Where did they go? We got some of those spirally algae. Oh, what is this? Oh, there's that weird one from before. Well, at least a weird one. I don't know if this is the same as before or not. It would be neat to find either a living Nauplius, or sort of as worst case confirmation of my fears, a crushed one. But no sign of any of them right now. Where did everything go? I'm trying to look at the slide without looking through the microscope right now, and it looks like most of the dirt and grime is over in this area. And if I were a Nauplius, I'd be swimming around in here. But oh no, where did everything go? There's some tiny little critters in here. I say critters, ciliates. But it would be nice to see the larger multicellular creatures again. The cover slip has rotated. Let's see if we can put that back. And perhaps putting it back will encourage creatures to come out and play. Because I totally don't see any of the big things again. And they might have all gotten moved around as I added water, and that would be fine if I can find them again. Hello, there's something hiding in here. It's a ciliate. It's a ciliate I haven't seen in this slide. I'm not sure if I've ever seen it. It's hiding. It will be too hard to see. Ooh, and there's a thing over here. That is a weird thing. It likes hiding in the rocks. I'm pretty sure it's behind this grain of sand. But if we're patient and very lucky, perhaps it will come out to play. Nope, nope, wait, this way, and there, and... Huh. I don't think that's a gastrotrick. I suspect that's some kind of a... Well, I don't know. Is it still behind this rock? Here it is. Oh, we're never gonna see it now. I might be looking at the wrong thing even. What's that? I should have picked a slide with less sand on it. But let's go back to 40 times magnification, see if we can find our Nauplius again. Any of them. There's a thing over here, but it's just a ciliate. Huh. Where did they all go? I mean, if they're... Oh! Is that? That is certainly something. But I can't quite tell what. There's a lot of debris, and it stopped moving. No. I think that's the Nauplius again. It's got a reddish eye spot. I am used to looking at them either top down or bottom up, because that's, when you have your cover slip lying flat, that's the way they go, because they're wide and flat. But this cover slip is deep enough that we might be looking at it like edge on or something, and then they're not something I would easily recognize. I think that's the Nauplius, one of them. So it's still around. Gosh, I sure hope I didn't crush that rotifer while I was, crush the rotifer while I was telling the story of how I watched a different rotifer die. I have very traumatic relationship with rotifers, apparently. Oh, wait, what is this? Well, it's not a rotifer, but it is something interesting. It's got very long cilia. I'm not sure those are cilia. Perhaps this, is this some sort of a flagellate? I can't keep it in focus long enough to get a good look at it. I'm gonna give up on that, sorry. Yeah, I worry that I might have crushed my rotifer. But there's something in here. There is a big Nauplius in here. It might be underneath the grain of sand. Well, at least two of the Naupliuses, Nauplia, are still okay. I don't know about my rotifer. And I think I'll leave it there for today. This video is awfully long already.